Services.com.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Have you heard of Two Beards Trading Post?
Tell me about them.
Well, guess what? They have a motto, don't shave it, shape it. And they are coming out with some huge products for this holiday season.
Well, I don't keep mine long enough to use things like that.
Well, then I think we're going to need to bring in a celebrity guest then.
Oh, yeah? And who would that be?
You know what? Since we're in the Pacific Northwest, let's bring in one of my friends, Bigfoot. I'm glad you could join TechTime Radio today.
Hey, Nathan. Hey, Mike. It's a pleasure to speak with you.
I know you have tons of hair on you, and I'm sure beard products are important for you.
Oh, oils, butters, all these products are incredibly important to me. Nobody does these better than Two Beards Trading Post. I love it.
So you've actually used their products before, is that correct?
Correct. I mean, personally, as when it comes to their oils, I really love the Ride My Face beard oil. I really do. I love it. The wife loves it, but I gotta be honest. They got another product on there that's called Hairy Nuts beard oil. I mean, I am a Sasquatch. It works. That one.
They have tons of products available at twobeards.club. Again, that's twobeards.club.
Thank you, because I gotta say, Two Beards, they have all natural ingredients. And a blend of oils that benefits, and it's not just about the smell and the flavor. It's so good. And I love how someone finally understands what a Sasquatch has. They have more than just oils, too. They got butters as well. If you want to keep that beard and that nice hair looking really smooth and shiny, you got to check out their butters as well. I personally love the Morning Wood.
You heard it from Bigfoot. No one else knows beards than Bigfoot. Mike.
Yeah, that was enlightening. I might have to grow mine out.
They have tons of products available at twobeards.club. Again, that's twobeards.club. Check them out today.
Coming to you from the shores of the Pacific Northwest, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go,
Yeah, it's gone. It's getting longer.
It's getting longer. That's right. Original air date is December 12th, 2020 through December 18th. And we have on the show today our live stream that is going on Facebook and on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube.com/TechTime Radio, and the same thing for Facebook, you can chat with us, ask us questions, and we got some big topics today. Today is going to be some groundbreaking news that we're going to be talking about. Now, if you're not listening on Saturdays and you're probably listening to a podcast or replay, make sure you visit TechTimeRadio.com so that you're updated on all the newest and most updated information. Our show is a weekly hour-long technology show that talks about current technology in a simple format that gives you the information without having to geek out. The show is for the common person as we provide top technology news along with segments that bring different perspective and highlighted guest interviews. Today on the main segment, we're covering our top 5 technologies for the holiday with our review of old school arcade retro devices.
There we go.
So we got a whole bunch of old arcades. You know, did you ever go to the arcades when you were a kid?
Absolutely. I that's what this is all about, is nostalgia.
So we're going to talk all about it. And you know what? I actually worked at 2 arcades as a kid. So I worked at the Marysville Mall as an arcade. Essentially, all you do is you hand out quarters, right? You bring in, and at the end of the night, you have to clean all the machines. And then another one right next to a college, Everett Community College. I worked at an arcade there too. So we're going to have some great time reminiscing about old machines. No pinballs yet. I would have gone off just on tons of pinballs because I have a couple pinball machines at my house, and so I love pinball. But we're going to be talking about that. Now, if you'd like to win something right now, if you go to techtimeradio.com and sign up for our fan list, we are going to be giving away one of the Pulse devices, our EKG portable device, for $299 at the end of this month, so a little bit after Christmas. But make sure you sign up to win that. We've given one away, and we got a couple more to give away to our great sponsors. So, Mike.
What's up?
We're going to get right into our loaded question of the day.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Where's a terrible place to make a lot of noise?
My house.
Your house. Okay, well, explain that to me.
What do I have to explain it?
Well, so you just can't make any noise at your house?
I don't like making noise.
You don't like making noise?
I don't like noise.
You don't like noise at all? Are you just a grumpy old guy?
I'm a grumpy old guy.
Are you a grumpy old guy? No noise?
I'm that guy that's practicing to be the one that says, get off my grass.
Get off your grass?
Yeah, except I go to the city park and I do it.
You start telling the people, get off your grass at the city park?
Yeah, get off my grass.
You take a little corner of it and you say, hey, that's my grass. Don't go there. That's
right.
my little space. All right. Well, that was our loaded question of the day. All right, Mike, we're going to also have our whiskey tasting, and we're going to give our whiskey either a thumbs up, thumbs down after our first commercial break. We'll be talking about it, and boy, is this an expensive bottle. So this bottle is $100, and it's gone.
I know.
So we're going to be talking about it, so it better be good.
And we haven't drank any yet. It's already gone.
I know, so hopefully it's good. Otherwise,
it better be.
Yeah.
It smells really good. But
it does smell good.
This whole old world snake oil bottle here is...
Is it kind of nice? Isn't that? Does it look like something you'd have in an old Western Looter's box in the back that sells you something, some secret medicine that will cure cancer?
Castor oil.
Yeah, that's right.
Cure-all.
All right.
Get your cure-all right
we
here.
have tons of topics today, and we have probably one of the largest conspiracies we're going to be talking about.
Okay.
That is going on in technology, and it's being swept under the rug. But
No.
we are going to bring it
You're
out.
going to bring it out.
We are. So right now, let's get ready to start with our top stories in the first 5 minutes.
What's happening in the world of technology? This is our top stories in the first 5 minutes.
All right, here we go. Story number 1, your favorite company. What is it? Facebook. All right. So we had our production meeting. I knew that you were struggling and when we talked, because we do our production meeting on Tuesday nights. And so when we did that, not only do we have one Facebook story.
Yeah, you came up with a second one.
We got 2 Facebook stories, so we're perfect. All right. Facebook story number 1. Facebook's ousts company behind the infamous APT32 malware group suspensions of accounts. So Facebook has unmasked the notorious hacking group. An unexpected reveal by Facebook allowed them to be blamed for the number of malware campaigns stretching back to almost a decade. Little was previously known about the group apart from widely held suspicion that it was backed by a Vietnamese government. We're going to be talking about this. APT32, an advanced persistent threat actor based in Vietnam, targeted Vietnam's human resource activists locally, abroad, and various governments, including those in Laos. Now, this is going to be a continuing story, so listen to this. Our investigation linked this activity to CyberOne Group, an IT company in Vietnam that specializes in cybersecurity. So,
Wait a minute.
yeah, so this is a company that is this APT32, these hackers that have been going around for about 10 years now. All of them work for a company known as a CyberOne security group that provided security consulting to companies in Vietnam.
Yeah.
So
that's
it's very interesting, huh? We're going to talk a
convenient.
little bit more about this as we go through today's episode.
Are you giving me a story that Facebook did a good thing?
So this is absolutely correct. So Facebook actually found information on, because they must not have been the brightest of the bulbs.
Well, they were running a Facebook page.
They were running Facebook pages for their CyberOne security group to prevent that. But what ended up happening is some of the chats and some of the private stuff that Facebook has available, they were talking about compromising and going after other people. So Facebook found that and said, well, what the heck? You know, you're saying
how
you're
did
doing...
they find it there?
Well, I'm sure Facebook monitors everything that you post. So if you don't think they do, we're going to be talking about that in our next story coming on up. So Facebook essentially out of the group. They have now sent the information to many other groups so that they can now attack the APT32 group and block domains, preventing them from continuing on. So, good job, Facebook.
Yeah.
We appreciate that for you.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, but here we go.
I can't hate on you. How am I going to hate on you?
Well, hang on. We got story number 2.
Okay.
All right, we got plenty of that. Facebook risks Instagram and WhatsApp breakup in antitrust case. Did you hear about this?
Yes.
Okay, so
this is one more step in that direction for this.
So essentially, Facebook is being sued by the U.S. antitrust officials, a coalition of states that want to break up the company by unwinding its acquisitions of Instagram and WhatsApp that deals with the government to say as a part of a campaign to illegally crush competition. Now, I worked at Microsoft back in the 90s.
Back when they were getting sued.
And they were getting sued for this. And I remember as a Microsoft employee, we were said, how the heck can you be doing this to Microsoft? Because there was another operating system called Apple which was clearly another operating system. And then they still had Cobalt, they still had Linux, they still had Unix servers. So essentially there was like 5 operating systems, but the United States government went after Microsoft, and especially the European Union did, to break us apart because we were just too big and we controlled too much of the operating system area. So I can understand if I was a Facebook employee,
it's Facebook's turning the barrel.
But Facebook now has the ability to essentially control information from its Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp platforms. And so there is a big concern with that because now they do have the ability to essentially squash information and decide to allow certain information that wants to get taken care of. But let's hear what Chief Executive Officer Mark Zuckerberg.
No way.
Yes, he said that we would not squelch the direct threats of other companies, including Instagram, and significantly hinder a firm from using photo sharing or mobile phone apps to gain popularity. We just decided to have the best ones available on the market.
I'm sure Mark is feeling like he can't do anything right because
I kind of feel bad for
he's getting in trouble for all the political stuff. So they had to do that whole thing with political news.
Yep. Where they had
a week before the
where they created a whole advisory council to decide what can be published or not.
Yeah,
and now he's being told that he has to.
You can't squelch information.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
So
I feel like I'm married.
Yeah, I feel really bad for him at some aspects because you know what, he's ended up purchasing 2 companies and those.
Goodbye, Jean-Luc. I'm going to miss you.
That's not a regular buzzer.
But then again, all good things must come to an end.
That's our 5-minute buzzer that we put some new 5-minute buzzers there. So that was Q telling us that our time has come to an end. So that's going to end our story. But as we go to end the story, do you feel sorry for Zuckerberg because he's purchased these companies?
No, I don't. Okay. He's a businessman. He's going to have to face this stuff anyway.
He's probably living pretty well with considering if he spends all of his time dealing with governmental antitrust case. I'm sure he's doing okay with his finances and stuff to continue through that.
I'm sure he's okay. But you know it's just funny that they keep finding something to go after.
They do. They just want to just break.
They just need to put a chair over in Congress just for him, just to hang out,
so he could have his own private apartment there.
Yeah, they just call him up every other week or so. Okay, Mark, it's your turn.
That's right. Can you please tell us what's going on? We got another complaint about you.
We're going to squelch this today.
Well, our time is up, and so if you want to check out the stories and our facts, please do. So all the quotes that we talk about and everything that we have is available for you to visit at techtimeradio.com, and you can click on the facts section. Up next, we have Protect Yourself Today, and we're going to be talking about cybercrime breaches and ransomware payouts. And we're going to be talking about the biggest conspiracy theory of 2020.
Is it a theory?
We got some fire where this information's coming from, so we're going to be talking about that right after our break here. We'll see you guys later.
Hello, Seattle. How would you like to have immediate and easy access to your live EKG and heart rate data? Your data right at your fingertips and with no need to hook up wires and leads or be strapped to a machine at the doctor's office. The new Pulse device from Vivome continuously tracks your EKG and displays this data on your mobile phone. Have you ever wondered how your EKG and heart rate behaves when you're exercising at the gym, navigating the stressful demands of the workday, or just getting the kids ready for school or relaxing at home? Now it is easy to check by simply opening the Pulse app. The Pulse device is sleek and low profile and designed to be worn without any straps or wires, and is also waterproof, so you can use it in the shower or take it swimming. For those serious athletes out there, the Pulse device also plays nicely with existing exercise tracking apps and is Bluetooth enabled for easy pairing. You can free yourself from those outdated strap-based heart rate monitors. The Pulse is a different kind of wearable, and you can experience this difference by going to www.vivome.com and ordering your device today.
Hi, this is Lisa Downs, host of Reigniting You, the show that takes a positive, forward-looking approach to mid to late career transitions for Gen Xers and Boomers every Wednesday afternoon at 3 o'clock Pacific. Whether you're looking to stay in the traditional workforce, do your own thing, or retire or semi-retire, Reigniting You is your source for career transition advice, inspiration, and insight for what's next in your career and life. Join me Wednesdays at 3 o'clock to get re-energized, recharged, and reignited.
New Advil Dual Action with acetaminophen fights pain in 2 ways. Advil targets pain at the source, while acetaminophen blocks pain signals. The future of pain relief is here. New Advil Dual Action.
Welcome back to TechTime Radio. We've had our little whiskey tasting, and so we're going to be talking about the 90 proof $100 bottle.
For 200 milliliters.
For 200 milliliters, $100 bottle for 200 milliliters. And so essentially our $100 bottle.
2 shots worth.
2 shots worth, and we're going to go through it all today. It is the King County, New York Distillery Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Now, let me tell you about this. The King County Bourbon was created at New York Kings County Distillery, a local organic corn and British malt barley. They essentially do all of their products that they purchase and they use, including New York tap water that then gets distilled. It's all distilled in this little old building that used to be around during Prohibition and illegally made the same recipes that we're tasting today.
Yeah, so to clarify, this is not our King County. It's New York City's Kings County.
Kings County, that's correct.
Right.
So it's not Snohomish County, King County, Pacific Northwest. It is all the way from New York. So I had a special person send me 3 different bottles. So they have a moonshine, they have this bourbon whiskey, and this stuff it's got a punch. And
it's got a punch, but it's got a very good flavor.
It's got a smooth flavor.
It's got a very non-traditional. Well, I don't know.
I wouldn't say non-traditional. I'd say
it's more sweet and it's a little more fruity than what I'm used to.
So they actually end up throwing out about 80% of the bottles and only allow 20% to be sold. So they're very picky on their taster that's been a part of the company for like 20 years. And he is very nitpicky on what he gets, but it's pretty good. All right, so let's go into.
So far, so good.
Let's go into our next segment. This is going to be fun. And this is what we have.
Your
favorite.
This is my favorite.
It's going to be interesting today. But we're going to be talking about Protect Yourself Today.
Protect Yourself Today.
Protect Yourself Today is a 5-minute rundown of the weekly technology breaches and business compromises across the globe. Now let's start with story number 1.
What is it? I see your face.
Oh, dude.
I see your face.
Oh, I'm hopefully had enough alcohol in me, so I'm gonna be calm during this episode and during this segment because this is what I consider the biggest breach of security in the last 5 years. I'm gonna tell you why. So here we go. FireEye is one of the world's largest security firms. Just Google FireEye. The FireEye is essentially, they are considered the experts of experts in cybersecurity.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've had to deal with them a couple times, and they are the biggest arrogant beeps, that's all I'm going to say, so that I've had to deal with. They are so arrogant about their technology and about how they know everything that's taken care of and how everything is being done on security, and say, well, what about this and what about, no, we know what we're talking about. So I absolutely already had a problem with their arrogance. Is
that why you're so happy right now? Because I can tell.
I am very happy. And let me just tell you, FireEye, one of the largest security firms, said it was hacked by a highly suspected threat actor, accused its internal network and stole hacking tools that FireEye uses to test networks and its customers. So it went on in and it stole all of their tools that are their proprietary tools that they're so awesome with, and we make this, and nobody else has these, so you don't know what you're talking about, Nathan Mumm, when I'm on the conference call, and I'll be like, no, yes, I do.
Tell us how you really feel, Nathan.
I have a consulting company. I have a consulting company called Elite Executive Services, and I think we're kind of like the A-team of technology. When somebody says it can't be done, if you call us, we'll put it together and see if it can be done, and we provide IT expertise for small businesses. But I've met with these guys. So the CEO...
You don't like them.
Oh, we're going to talk about more, because I hate blame game, and I hate the arrogance, and I just don't really like who they are. So... The CEO, Kevin Randay, said that the threat actor also searched for information related to the company's government customers. He described the attack as highly sophisticated threat actors whose disciplines, operational security, and technical leads us to believe it was a state-sponsored attack. And I'm going to get into this. State-sponsored attack. Yeah, right. State-sponsored attack. If I use a VPN server to come on in from Russia and I decide to hack somebody's system and I'm sitting in Seattle and I have another person sitting in LA, I don't consider that a state-sponsored attack. And so the state-sponsored attack that they're claiming to is going to give them an immunity of not explaining exactly what happened. And I know that it's not correct. On Bulletin board services. So you can go to the dark web, and if you go to Dread, which is a bulletin board service, there is absolutely information that says that there are other individuals.
You went.
I dove into this.
You dove into this one,
I
didn't you?
did. So I got information, and I make sure that we're talking about stuff that's true because I don't like them, and we're going to expose them. So here we go. Now, they are highly trained operational security. They used a novel combination of techniques not witnessed ever before by partners in the past. So they've never seen this happen. So it must have been like a movie's version of a criminal activity where they come on in and steal
like
the money.
sneakers?
Or sneakers, yeah, or a Die Hard thing where you think it's really a conspiracy for X when it's really just stealing it. So FireEye said that the assessment was confirmed by Microsoft. So they're supposed to be the best company in the world. But they had to go to Microsoft to get the confirmation that they had been breached. So if you have all these tools
you're
available,
really enjoying this.
So if you have all the tools to make sure that you have this taken care of, and you're supposed to be the best, and then you have to go to ask Microsoft. Microsoft's really pretty good at what they do. Their Defender antivirus is just as good as all those other snake oils that are out there, the antivirus companies that pretend to protect your machine, which they don't. But Microsoft has the intelligence. I worked at Microsoft 10 plus years. I've seen their boards of where they take a look at intruders and information. Very highly trained. Microsoft by far is probably way more technical than FireEye ever wants to be, but they are the ones that come across in that way. So Microsoft
don't hold back.
Microsoft confirmed the breach. Okay, so
Okay.
Now the FBI was also notified because essentially they have major government contractors that they use, and the FBI and other government contractors use FireEye to be their safety protection.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden now when you declare a state attack upon that, and you're blaming Russia because they blamed Russia, now all of a sudden you don't have to disclose any of the information that was gone because there's security secrets to the United States government that are there. So all of a sudden I can just pretend like I don't know what's going on and I can just brush it under the side. So the FBI was notified, and they're helping also. The attackers got their hands on custom penetration tools. That's their special tool set that they have. The company is now sharing them on GitHub, which is a free. So if you have a free GitHub account, you can go and get their tools that they have. Oh, that's our time's
look,
up.
There's another buzzer.
Yeah, our new buzzer. Time's up, but I'm going to continue to finish this because
it sounds like you need to.
I'm going to need to.
Just get it out. Just
okay.
Tell me more.
Okay, so the FireEye is not the first major firm to get hacked by supposedly a nation-state group. Mm-hmm. Again, nation-state. So if I have 5 people from China and I have 3 people, from the United States, I blame China. Is China the one that's in trouble for it because we have half and half? Is it if you have a hacking group and you have one extra person from a certain location, does that mean that's a nationwide state? That's okay, because I know that there is local individuals.
It's not the Nathan state.
Okay, so Kaspersky was compromised in 2015, so they're not the only people. And then the RSA security was also hacked in 2011, and then Avast has been hacked twice. Avast, have you ever heard the antivirus?
I use that one.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Why would you use that? That's a piece of junk.
I don't know.
Okay, you should just be using the Microsoft Defender stuff. They're clearly who they had to go to understand if they had a security breach because they couldn't figure it out
they've been hacked
themselves.
twice, huh?
Yes, so FireEye, they have been hacked twice, 2017 and 2019. So we may want to get that taken care of and uninstalled on your machine. So FireEye declined to comment on the attack's full scope under the guise of having governmental contracts and not able to give that information. So first off, it was most likely an inside job with individuals working against other individuals to get the information out there.
Mm-hmm.
So now all of a sudden you're doing your due diligence to find out which one of your employees decided to turn the table on you. Probably they were the ones that weren't as arrogant as some of their senior leadership, and so they wanted to get it back at them.
You think it was
absolutely. I would bet almost anything that there had to be cooperation from somebody internally within the organization itself. But now that since they're under the guise of a state attack and we have the FBI investigating, we don't have to give any of that information.
Maybe I'll talk about that in my mesmerizing moment.
Okay. We better take a commercial break. Otherwise, I'm not. My blood pressure.
We could probably talk about this for the rest of the day, huh?
We absolutely could. And I could continue going on things that I know that they don't know how to do. But right now, we're going to take a commercial break. David, please save us here. Otherwise, my blood pressure is going to boil over. And we will be back right after this with our main second segment talking about our holiday. All right.
Ace Hardware is a helpful place with prompt, friendly service and the brand names you know and trust, such as
Steel,
Scott's,
Miracle-Gro,
Toro,
DeWalt,
Milwaukee,
Yeti,
Traeger,
Weber,
Big Green Egg,
Clark and Kensington Paint,
Magnolia Paint by Joanna Gaines,
Benjamin Moore Paint,
Duracell Automotive Keys,
and many, many more.
When you visit Ace Hardware, you'll be greeted at the door and given the help you need.
So come visit us at Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, Evergreen Way in Everett, and now Stanwood.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
I feel like we're forgetting something.
Let me check.
Xfinity Home gives you peace of mind from anywhere with professionally monitored home security built around you.
No, I think we're good.
Good.
So when you're away, you don't have to worry.
The tent. We forgot the tent.
Except about that. Xfinity Home. Simple, easy, awesome.
Hey, look, I found the tent. Get Xfinity Home with no term contract required. Call or click today.
Welcome back to TechTime Radio.
Okay?
I'm your host, Nathan Mumm. I'm okay.
Are
you know,
you fine?
I appreciate the Kings County, New York Distillery straight bourbon whiskey right now at 90 proof because I cleansed.
We don't have a couch in here, but yeah.
Yeah, I could. You could probably put me up against the couch and we could keep on talking about Fire Eye. I just really love them. I'd recommend them to nobody. All righty. Now we're gonna
Tell us how you really feel.
I just did. Okay, so we're going to move right into our main segment, which is our Technology Insider.
Welcome to Technology Insider. We get the information directly from the source.
All right, so let's talk about arcade items.
Arcade.
All right, this is
That brings back a lot of memories.
That's right. This is part 4 of our 5-part series. So next week we finish out our top 5 technology aspects for the holiday. And, you know, I'm actually going to be coming in with my ugly Christmas sweater on next week. So you're going to have to see that. You're not going to do that?
No, I don't do those things.
I have one. It's awesome. So you essentially throw darts at it, and then it tells you if you drink or you don't drink. So.
Throwing darts at you wouldn't be a bad thing.
So you may want during so you and David will line up during the show, and you can just keep on bouncing off my head. Hey, no, you're supposed to hit my chest here. You go.
No, that's not as fun.
All right. So everybody has a game den, right? Whether it's a downstairs den decked out, whether it's your video game console.
Mm-hmm.
I just got the new Xbox Series X system. I don't know why I got it, really, to be honest. It's just sitting upstairs.
Did you find one?
I did find one. After going through, the poor wife is the one that actually ended up getting it with a third-party app on, and so she had like the Walmart app up and kept on hitting it, and so her order went through and my order didn't go through.
Wow.
And you know what? There's no new real games that are out for it, so it's just sits there.
It's just and apparently you don't want to blow vape into it.
Yeah, you don't want to do marijuana.
I don't know why that's a thing, but
yeah, there's a whole article about that.
Yeah, I've seen that 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, don't be doing marijuana into the fan base of the unit. Really? What type of person thinks that that's a good idea?
Well,
all right,
smokers apparently, and vapors,
I guess. So we're going to talk about some quality arcade cabinets. And any of these would be perfect in a den setup. So essentially, we're not going to be talking about the new systems. We're talking about old systems arcade.
We're talking about the old stuff.
We're talking about the old stuff.
Talking about the old stuff.
Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat, Pac-Man, Galaga.
Don't you feel like just clicking a quarter up on a screen right now? Click. Do you remember doing that?
I did, absolutely. You have to put it. You have to wait you had to put it and you space it. You put your quarter up and you space it. I got next, and if I put 2 or 3 quarters up there, I mean, I get 2 or 3 games in a row. It was to do that Street Fighter, and Street Fighter was the best because if you won, you kept on playing, and then people would have to pay quarters, and you'd be like,
I worked at a pizza joint out of high school, and we would have access to the coins.
The coin mechs?
Slots.
Yeah.
And we would put paper in the coin slots.
Yeah.
To get like piles of money.
Yeah.
And then after we closed, we would sit there for 4 or 5 hours just playing video games.
So I was dating this girl, and I'm working on an arcade, right? It's my wife, so I'm okay now. So,
it better be.
We had a anniversary, and we had a pinball machine. We had the Addams Family down at the arcade. And I had this guy that used to come on in, and he was really good at it. And we ended up playing for like hours and hours and hours. And then my wife, which is now my girlfriend at the time, was waiting for our anniversary stuff.
Oh,
I was like 2 hours late.
That's a big fail. Yeah, we used to play Street Fighter all the time and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
So we had a case Casey's Arcade in the Everett area where you paid like $3 to go in, and then every game was 5 cents.
Oh, really?
So you could
It was a cover charge.
So it was a cover charge to come on in,
Well, that's
and then
awesome.
once you went through the little gate, then you could play for 5 cents. And I remember Paperboy with the little
Oh,
steering
yeah,
wheels.
yeah.
Paperboy. Oh, that was I'd
Yeah.
do that for hours. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about full-size cabinets that bring the arcade home to life, and we're going to be talking about arcade quality that is unlike anything else that's available in the markets. So our first item up here is a $3,000 arcade. And this is called the Creative Arcade full-sized cabinet machine. And it's essentially, these are all available on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 32-inch screen covered in tempered glass with 4 Swenya joysticks. Those
Okay.
are the high-end arcade joysticks. So it's got the release. You can pull up on the joystick a little bit. And so absolutely taken care of. It's plenty of space to play. It comes loaded with 3,500 games. It's amazing here now, isn't it? So
3,500.
3,500 games, including the classics like Mortal Kombat.
How about Moon Patrol?
Rome Patron. They have Moonwalker and Moon Patrol are on there too. So Defender's on there too. So this machine even comes with a pair of bar stools. So when you get tired of standing, you can sit on down on it.
Is it one of the flat ones? Or
No,
is
it's
it
a
one of
full
upright.
full upright. We're going to talk about the mini arcades. That's on our list to come up here too.
This is my favorite game.
So yeah, $3,295. It comes with a 2-player cabinet, so it's got 6 buttons, so you can play all the latest games available right now. And next item up for bid on the Price is Right. We have the Arcade 1-Up. Have you heard of Arcade 1-Up?
No.
This is
Tell me
this
about
company that essentially they make 3/4 size machines. And what they do is they actually have the ability with these machines to have a pretty good resolution, and they're pretty inexpensive. So this unit we're going to be talking about is $399. It is called the Arcade 1-Up Galaga arcade machine.
Oh, Galaga.
Galaga. So it's easy enough to peel and have the throwback. It comes with a 19-inch wide screen, so that's plenty. 19-inch. They used to be 15-inch screens back in the arcade days. So 19-inch screen. It also, with the normal stand, there's an additional stand you can purchase. It's just under 46 inches tall, but it includes a riser that can boost it up to 61.8 inches, which essentially gets it to full height. So they make these smaller arcade machines, and then they have these stands that put in that they can raise them up so that they're higher.
They have arcade games with lifts.
That's so they have to sell a little base to make it higher. It's probably because it's much cheaper just to make the wood fake stuff underneath it. You can just put a little box together. It features both the classic Galaga and Galaxian arcade machine, plus original artwork on the cabinet.
What about Gorf?
Oh, I remember playing Gorf.
Remember Gorf?
I do remember Gorf. So let me tell you what you can do with this, though. So if you Google, and I did this last year, I was gifted one of these Arcade 1-Ups from my brother and my son. I'm sorry. So both of them got that for me. If you purchase a device called a Raspberry Pi, and you modify it, all you got to do is Google Arcade 1-Up Raspberry Pi. You can essentially put in a mini computer, hook it up to the screen, modify the buttons, which I have done. So I have all the high-end joystick buttons, and you can have over 4,000 games for just $99 on a modification.
Wow.
So you can get a $399 deal, do something a little illegal because you're not supposed to own ROMs, but okay. Get a Raspberry Pi. If you Google how to do it, they'll get you the ROMs, and then you can have 4,000 games for $400.
4,000 games.
Yeah, this sits upstairs. It sits upstairs, and I play my sons, and I beat them up on Street Fighter because they're not any good, and I play Blanca, and they don't know how to beat Blanca. So the next thing we have is
and then they kick your butt in
Age of Empires, every other game.
Yeah.
So that's like the only game that I can beat anybody in. And my son's little buddies that come on over the house, I can beat them up on the Street Fighter too. So that's like the one game that I'll play.
There's a throwback to your
my one era that I remembered how to play.
There, I got my manhood thing going on. Come over, invite your buddies so I can beat the crap out of them.
Street Fighter. Only if I use a joystick though. I can't use a gamepad. So the next thing we have is the My Arcade Data East Classic Mini Player. So it's on the short space. This is an option that essentially sits as an arcade machine on a tabletop. So it's a smaller unit, sits right on a tabletop. It comes with 35 titles from Data East, when Data East was a pretty big deal back in the day, including games like Burger Time, Joe and Mac, Street Hoop, and many others. The games are displayed on a 4.5-inch LCD screen, and controls include a miniature joystick, which you can screw off and put in a regular arcade joystick, which everybody hacks and does. So they take off the little joystick, put a full size in, and the thing comes in a real small package, but also has a modification area where if you put a Raspberry Pi in there, you can get another 4,000 plus games. So the model is get one of these devices, and that whole thing sells for $90. So get the device, then pay another $90 to $100.
Really selling here?
A Raspberry Pi, illegal ROMs. That's right. And last but not least, we have the tiny arcade Space Invaders. Now I brought one of those in.
That's this one.
So that is So this is it costs $18.
It's really cool. It's exactly the Space Invader. The only problem is I'm too old. I can't see it.
You can't see it, so it does make it tough. But it's got the one button. You can turn it on. You can play the little switch on the back. But these are really kind of nice. It's keychain size, although I'd never put it on. Yeah, you hear perfect. You hear the little shots there.
Yeah,
I would never put it on a keychain because it'd get beat up. But you can absolutely play this. These are about $18. A Raspberry Pi does not fit into that, so you can't modify that.
You can't modify that. You would try, though.
Yeah, you'd have it twice the size of that. But it's pretty amazing, a little wonderful play, and it's simply and easy to get. They have all these stocking stuff specifically for this thing. You can get it for anywhere between $8 to $19 on Amazon as a gift to your favorite friend that loves retro arcades.
So funny because this is the first video game I played as a kid.
Space Invaders?
Well, I mean... It was in the 7-Eleven.
Okay.
So this was the first, not Pong.
Not Pong.
I played Pong, but this is the first commercial video game that I ever played.
See, I played on the Atari 2600, and I used to go to my grandmother's house, and she had this, and I would play that. And I remember one night we played for 6 hours, and I got up to like level 18, 19. My eyes were bugging out, and those are the old CRT screens. I'm standing like a foot away from it, but it's a. Do you know that the original programming of that was it to be a constant speed, but as you ended up shooting the aliens in there, it actually sped up the ROM itself. So it was actually an air that we all played because it got faster and faster because they didn't have to code as many logical information on the screen at a time.
Yeah.
So there's your fun fact of the day.
There you go.
All right, that makes you go.
I spent a lot. Yeah, I did go. I spent a lot of quarters in that little 7-Eleven.
Some good memories, aren't they?
Oh yeah, and
those are fun.
And then Pac-Man came along and just blew up.
Pac-Man was awesome.
I think Pac-Man was the reason why arcades really
just blew
up.
And then they came up with Miss Pac-Man and different ROMs that were available.
Yeah, but nobody had their theme song.
What was that?
Pac-Man Fever. Remember that?
No, how did it go? Do you remember it?
Yeah, I'm not going to sing it. But do you remember Pac-Man? You don't remember Pac-Man Fever?
I do remember, and I also remember the cartoons. I just wanted to see if I could get you to sing it.
Yeah, I'm not going to sing.
That would have been funny and pretty darn hilarious.
Pac-Man Fever.
All right, stick with us. As we return, we're going to be talking about agents raiding a home in Florida of a data scientist who built a COVID-19 dashboard. And essentially, she was let go because she would not alter the data. And we're going to hear all about how the government came into our house and invaded her privacy.
That's. You sure you want to talk about that story?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. And then we still have Mike's mesmerizing moments. So let's take a commercial break and we'll be right back.
Hello, Seattle. How would you like to have immediate and easy access to your live EKG and heart rate data? Your data, right at your fingertips, brought to you by Vivomi's new Pulse wearable. And with no need to hook up wires and leads or be strapped to a machine at the doctor's office. Whether you are exercising at the gym, navigating the stressful demands of the workday, or relaxing at home, check your EKG as simply as opening an app. The Pulse, a different kind of wearable, and you can experience this difference by going to www.vivomi.com and ordering your device today.
Your business deserves the same expertise as that of a Fortune 500 company. If you need a CIO-level service, why hire a full-time staff member at $250,000 a year when you can get this on-demand service for fractions of the cost? As your CIO on demand, we'll give you the steps you need to take so as to minimize interruption to your business and profitability, and provide you and your business with training and education to prevent future attacks. To get an efficiency review for your business today, contact us at www.ee-services.com.
All right. How was that little whiskey during the commercial break, Mike? King County Distillery from New York.
You can probably tell what I'm going to give it.
I don't know. You just said you wanted some for Christmas, so I don't want to give away that you're going to like it if you wanted some.
I'll give it a thumbs down just to be a butthead about it.
Okay.
It's really good.
It really is good, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's you know what? I guess it's if you really want some good whiskey, then you know what? Sometimes you have to pay a little bit for it.
Maybe. Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome back. We are going to go right into what I found on the web.
What we found on the web.
All right, Mike, have you heard this story?
What did you find on the web?
State police brandish firearms Monday and raided a Tallahassee home of Rebecca Jones, the former Department of Health employee who built the state's much-praised COVID-19 dashboard before being fired over what she said was refusing to manipulate data.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is what she said, and she actually ended up videotaping it. So this gal is smart.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so instead of answering the doors when the officers came, she decided,
set up cameras.
She set up cameras. She decided that, you know what, if something's going to happen, then we're going to stream all of this so I can end up sharing it on Twitter and many other different places to make sure that I have
Facebook Live.
I have my stuff. She didn't quite do Facebook Live, but she did save it up to the cloud. So here's what she says. They pointed a gun in my face. They pointed guns at my kids, Jones tweeted shortly before 5 p.m. Jones, who launched her own COVID-19 dashboard after she was fired. So she's working for Florida, creating a COVID-19 dashboard. So she's really a pretty intelligent coder.
Mm-hmm.
She was fired. So she said, you know what? I'm going to go use crowdsourcing to raise money, and I'm going to make my own COVID-19 dashboard.
Okay.
So
we got this person who's getting fired and then creating a different one that supposedly is real. Is that the claim?
That's the claim, that she says, according to her, that she has the right information versus the information that was being broadcast out.
I don't know if I would completely believe all that, but Florida is one of the only states that's completely open still.
Yeah, they're the only ones in the NFL where you see like actual fans in the stands still, and sometimes they're like right next to each other. But okay, so here's what happened.
That's why I would live in Florida, right?
I would never live in Florida. I've been to Florida a couple times for the Disney World stuff. That thing is just a mosh pit of sweat and just humidity.
That's okay. That's where I'm from. I'm not from Florida, but I'm from
Arizona. But that's dry heat. Dry heat's better than.
But I was born and raised in Georgia, so I know that sweltering heat.
Okay.
But that's my dream is to
move back there?
retire on a Caribbean island somewhere.
Oh, okay. Mine's to go over and live in Africa. Just disappear, go live in Africa, enjoy because that's a nice dry hot heat type of deal, and do that, and then work on technology because they're about 10 years behind.
Yeah,
so if you go on over there, you don't have to learn anything, and for the next 10 years,
you'll
be okay.
You're relevant.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
So the agents knocked on her door around 8:30 a.m. and took all of her hardware and technology after showing her a warrant based on a complaint filed by the Florida Department of Health. A video accompanied the post shows the Florida Department of Law Enforcement breaking through the doors with guns drawn, asking who else was in the house, and she said her husband and 2 children were inside, and they were escorted her out of the house. The video shows an agent entering the house with his gun drawn, calling for her husband to come down the stairs, while an agent told her to calm down. Jones said, "He just pointed a gun at my children." So she set up a video camera to record all of this onto the cloud and share it to Twitter. So she was ready.
Yeah,
so she was waiting for some confrontation.
Waiting for this to happen.
So he kind of was waiting for confrontation. Miss Jones refused, this is what the report says, refused to come to the door for 20 minutes and hung up on the agents.
Yeah, so she was busy for that 20 minutes.
Well, she's getting the camera set up and making sure they could all stream, right? So they could all stream to Amazon or wherever else they're streaming to. After several attempts of verbal notification, the law enforcement officers were then served a legal search warrant. Miss Jones eventually came to the door and allowed agents to enter. Miss Jones' family was upstairs when agents made an entry to the house. The investigation is still active. All of the cases and roles are to determine the facts of what happened, and state attorneys determine whether or not charges are filed. Jones, the former Geographical Information Science Manager, was fired for insubordination in May after being reprimanded several times, state officials said. Her paperwork doesn't state a cause for her being fired, but she claims she was terminated for refusing to manipulate health data to cast Florida in a more favorable light.
Well, yeah.
What's your take on that?
There's a party place. That's my take on that.
Yeah,
that's a hard one.
What was it a hard one?
Well,
I think she's probably legit, but she probably is a little difficult to work with.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about personality clashes and things like that. Because we don't know what the data is that she's saying that she was supposedly supposed to post.
Correct.
We don't know
or manipulate.
Yeah,
we don't know what data she was.
These are out of context things, And if you're going to resist police for 20 minutes, I wouldn't say they pointed guns at me, because that's what I would expect. So, if you look at it from the point of view of the officers outside,
yep,
they don't know what's going on inside.
Correct.
So they have to come in ready for bear. They have to come in prepared for somebody to resist them with violence. So pointing a gun at somebody, you can't really use that as a defense. Well, they pointed a gun at me. Well, duh.
Because you didn't answer the door for 20 minutes. Yeah.
But on the other hand, they are sticking out as a sore thumb.
It does seem to be that she must have had some information. She was let go. She got her own crowdfunding through Kickstarter to do her own COVID-19 display. And only after she started getting her COVID-19 numbers and her information out there did they decide that they wanted to come on in and
right. So is this a government cover-up?
I don't know.
I don't know. It seems like it's kind of being. We're looking at a viewpoint from where it's a government cover-up.
At least it wasn't a state infected because we're going to blame it on some outer state attacking.
Yeah, it wasn't a fire ideal.
It wasn't. That's right. Okay, well
Should we talk about that again?
Yeah, we're going to come on back to Mike's mesmerizing moment, and we're going to need some whiskey during this commercial break.
I'm going to finish this up, man.
Okay, all right. So we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll see you right back here. We got Mike's mesmerizing moment. You're not going to want to miss that, and then our pick of the day.
Skip and Sharon, hosts of the Psychic Spectrum radio show, are a prominent psychic couple. Besides hosting an exciting weekly radio show, they offer fans the Psychic Showcase and a fascinating speakers bureau. And their Talking to the Other Side events are not to be missed. Join their live events and even schedule a private psychic reading. Get started at psychicspectrum.com. That's psychicspectrum.com.
Your business deserves the same expertise as that of a Fortune 500 company. If you need a CIO-level service, why hire a full-time staff member at $250,000 a year when you can get this on-demand service for fractions of the cost? As your CIO on demand will give you the steps you need to take so as to minimize interruption to your business and profitability, and provide you and your business with training and education to prevent future attacks. To get an efficiency review for your business today, contact us at www.ee-services.com.
Ace Hardware is a helpful place with prompt, friendly service, knowledge, and the little things that make a big difference.
Service.
Selection.
Advice.
Community involvement.
Competitive prices.
Convenience.
Located near you.
And the things you need, such as
house keys,
lawn and garden,
plumbing,
electrical,
hardware,
grills,
outdoor living supplies,
and even nuts and bolts.
When you visit Ace Hardware, you'll be greeted at the door and given the help you need.
So come visit us at Ace Hardware in Evergreen Way in Everett, Lake Stevens, and now Stanley.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Welcome back to TechTime Radio. I'm your host, Nathan Mumm. Mike, during the break, what did you think about our whiskey as he's busy playing Space Invaders?
Space Invaders, man.
You busy playing Space Invaders?
I'm on screen 3 already.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Well, I can tell that your whiskey is gone, so you didn't have any other whiskey to do? So I guess you probably enjoyed it during the break.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, this is a great time right now to remind people to go and sign up at techtimeradio.com in the information box there for the fan list so that they can enter to win the Pulse Device portable EKG system that we're giving away at the last week of this month. And right now, the highlight segment of the day, Mike's mesmerizing moments.
This is Mike's mesmerizing moment.
Awesome.
All right, you're up, bud.
So I think today we were talking about you're very upset about how FireEye is handling this, and we've talked about this in the past. This is just image engineering.
Okay, what's that?
We all do this.
Okay,
where we present the best parts of ourselves, And corporations are no different. Corporation is an organization that actually becomes an entity unto itself. So it has to maintain their identity. And by doing that, they often have to lie. This was actually one of my undergrad thesis was about image engineering and how toxic it can be. Because, we often talk about how these folks do these like blanket statements, like when they get hacked and they're like, oh, well, nothing important got stolen.
Yep.
Because they have to maintain their image. And FireEye is no different, where they're saying that this is a what did you call it?
Nation state attack.
Nation state attack. They're scrambling to maintain their image, because if they're really transparent, they're going to be vulnerable to attack. And so they have to maintain this image. And I'm not justifying it at all. I'm just saying that this is one of the reasons why this is a problem, is because the function of it is that, okay, we have presented ourselves as to being these experts, and here these people are hacking us, and that can't happen. So we have to make up a story that makes it seem like we're the victim.
Yeah.
And that's how this stuff happens. So anytime we do these little segments with these corporate guys talking,
and they always say we have no comment.
Always say no comment, or they're image engineering, and they're trying to maintain that reputation of that company, because they want to make sure that people are still confident in their ability. But the fact of the matter is that it's, even in the hacking world, there's always somebody who's going to be better at it than you.
Yes.
There's always a bigger fish.
Yep.
And
so instead of trying to say that you're the bigger fish, why don't you just say there's many different ways, and we'll take a look? And
it's just easier.
It's just easier to say that you're the big fish, and you're wrong, and we're the best.
It's a defense mechanism. Okay. Is really what it is. And, it's just like all the other psychological defense mechanisms that we have: denial and repression and all that other stuff.
All right. Well, that was Mike's mesmerizing moment. Okay.
Whatever happened to that?
What's that?
What was that company called? The
linear electronics.
Linear electronics.
Yeah, no, they shared out. If you need, you get your rip, not replace, or no, rip and replace, or
that was about the equipment. Right?
Yeah, the equipment for the if you need any of your athletic gear / bikes that you ride on, or treadmills taken care of, always contact Linear Electronics, and they'll fix it, not replace it, so you don't have to get upset, Mike. Okay? Remember, you got
That's right.
That's right. Okay.
I get a little ticked about that.
All right, so we're going to now take a look, and we are going to move into our pick of the day.
Oh, my.
And now our pick of the day for our whiskey tastings.
That's like the first time we've heard that.
Let's see what bubbles to the top.
All right. That's correct. Okay, so David, I told him we were going to get to this today, and we actually got to the first little area there to talk about it, so I'm very excited. Now, we're going to talk about our pick of the day. So we are both gone. So we both have no glasses left.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that was $100.
And there's no bourbon left. That's the tragedy.
There's no bourbon left at all.
We drank the entire bottle.
So we got to see if you're going to give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Again, this is the Kings County in New York, not Kings County
not King County, Washington. It's Kings County,
New York Distillery, straight bourbon. What do you think of their whiskey?
This is really good.
You got a thumbs up.
This is a really good whiskey.
Is this one of the best whiskeys you've tasted on the show?
This is in the top 3.
Top 3? Okay.
Yeah.
And I would say also this is a very good whiskey. It has a very smooth taste. I would love to share that with a lot of people, but we're empty now.
I don't know about this whole 200 milliliters for $100, but it's good whiskey.
It's good whiskey. All right, so we got a couple things that we need to make sure that we have our listeners do. First off, we're calling all of our TTR fans. That's our TechTime Radio fans. TTRs. Make sure that you share the show, like the show, and make sure you hopefully got a moment that made you go, All right, so we are still giving away that $299 heart EKG machine from Vomi. We'll give it away at the last show in December. We need all of our fans to sign up for that prize, to go right now to techtimeradio.com. Make sure you also subscribe to our podcast feeds. so you can listen to all of our great information again and again and again. Just keep on replaying it forever. You know what? Just put on a replay forever. That helps our stats go up.
Put it on repeat.
That's right. So for myself, we have Mike Day here. We got our engineer expert, David Brown. We are excited to be in the studios at KKNW 1150 AM, and we're excited to see you guys next week.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, Mumm's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host, guest, and